Hello everyone! Welcome back to episode 47 of my Let's Build series. Thank you all for stopping by on this video today. We are in our gardens today. They're a little unfinished, but as you can see, I've been working a little bit more on them off camera. We need to get some more palm trees, some bushes, some tall flowers, really liven up this area. But today, we are not going to be working above ground. We're actually going to follow this staircase down here. I really love this area down here underwater with our beautiful flower conduit. As you walk down the stairs, everything just slowly comes into view, and you've got these lovely little sea pickle candles on the side. I really love it, and I would like to dress up this area even more. So that is what we are going to do today. I'm going to make some terrariums down here. As you guys know, our palace is filled with beautiful aquariums. So I want to kind of do the same thing underwater, but instead of filling them with water, we will obviously fill them with air. I think that's going to be kind of cute. Let's try it and see how it works. The first thing I've got to do is kind of terraform this area. I need to get rid of a lot of this sea kelp, seagrass. It's all going to be very, very in the way. I think I would like to have this area be symmetrical, so I'll probably have one right here and one right here somewhere. I'll have to count that out to make sure that I get it exactly correct. I think this is about the middle. Let me just get rid of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's the center. Okay, perfect. And let's get the center of this one as well. There we go. So right off this path, the path is going to go straight this way and straight this way. And now we just need to make our two little circles. Now I do think I'm going to fill in this hole. I have some sand, not on me, but in my storage room I have lots of sand. I think I'll just flatten this out a little bit because it's sort of just a random hole at the moment. So that would look really good with some sand, as with this area that has stone. Let me go ahead and just fix that up real fast before we get started. Alright, I think that looks a lot better now. I haven't fixed up this side yet, but this will be a good start. This side will be one higher than this side, but I think I'm okay with that. I don't really want to tear down the whole ocean floor for these. They don't need to be completely flawless. Let's grab our dirt and see how far out we're going to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I kind of want to go 9. I think that's going to be far enough, maybe even 2 more. I want it to be spread out a little bit. Alright, now that I've got this mapped out a little bit, I decided on 9 spacing from the center. One side is going to be a little bit higher than the other, but I think I'm okay with that. I might push this terrain back a little bit, but I'm not going to push it all the way. So I think that's gonna be fine. Let's just push it a little bit back so that it gets away from the streetlights, and then we'll leave it at that. Oh, the swimming animation is so weird. Just take this little tiny bit of sand off, and this will also give us an opportunity to collect some more sand without having to go destroy the desert anymore. Alright, so now I need to decide how large I want these terrariums to actually be. I think 3 right here is probably good, and then maybe 2 and 1. I'm just going to kind of test that out by going around in dirt, and we can always adjust it later. I want to get this right early on because breaking and placing glass over and over gets to be a little bit tedious. It's way easier for me to plan it out and just get it right. I think that's going to be a good size because we don't have a ton of height to work with down here before it hits the surface. I would like to keep it a little bit on the smaller side. If this was in a deeper ocean, I think I'd be more inclined to go larger. But I don't really want this to peek out onto the surface too much. I think that would look a little bit odd. Alright, there we go. There's our plan. Now, in my opinion, I think that looks fine. I think that's going to be the correct size. So now the next step is going to be adding in the pillars. I think what is dirt here is actually going to be where the glass goes. So in order to have some depth, I'm actually going to have the pillars come out from that. Probably about here. It's like I could take this corner block and do it, but if I'm going to do it to have depth, then I would have to have 2 here. So I think I'd rather do something like this. And then we'll have some designs going around the edge. I'm just going to like loosely mark some of these in, and then I'll go see if this looks okay or if I need to change the placement. Alright, now that I see that, I think that actually looks fine. So it's not a ton of depth because although it kind of pops out right here, it is flush with this side here. But I think that's going to be fine because we're going to have it filled with kind of land stuff, and I think it'll be kind of cool on its own. So I'm just going to build these up a little tiny bit further, probably to about right there, and then I'll start filling these in with glass. Okay, now it's time for me to start adding in the glass. I'm not going to start on the definitive height until I know for sure that this is how I want it to look. Once I have the glass in place, I'll decide how high it's going to go. But I think right about here will give us enough room to do kind of a little bit of a dome. And I think we'll have it peeking out of the surface a little bit, and we'll do a second dome, sort of like we have all the way up there, just to kind of mirror the designs a little bit down into the water. It will really make the palace, I hope anyways, feel like it's flowing down here. Alright, so I have the glass and pillars started for both of our little terrariums, and look at how cool this looks from up here. So I'm just kind of sitting on my roof. This is a little bit of a weird position to be in, but I think it gives us a really good view of how this is going to look, and it really brings this area to life. I think once we get some sea pickles in and some coral in, it'll look even better. But let's just fly down here now. It's time to get started on the roof. So I'm going to start with this one over here. And I'm actually just going to, I think I'm going to surround it right here. So I'm going to go along the edge with some prismarine. So we're doing the same theme as we have for the rest of the palace. I debated doing a different one for a little while, but after some thought, I think that this will look the best because they're already going to vary a little bit from the palace, and I still want it to look fairly consistent. So hopefully this will be good. Now we're going to come out from this and go around with some of this beautiful dark oak. I love this color underwater, and next to the blue, it just dresses it up so well. Now obviously this is going to be the layer that has a lot of the details in it, like slabs and stairs, and then above that we'll have the big curvy roof. So let me go ahead and get started on that, and then we'll bring in the rest of the roof blocks. Alright, now that that is in on both sides, I just have to go ahead and get in our dark prismarine roofs. Now, I don't have a ton of dark prismarine, this is all I have on me, but I do have lots of squid ink, so I can go ahead and make some more dark prismarine as soon as I run out. So I'm probably going to end up needing to do that. But it'll be a good start to get this in place, and we can get a good idea of what details are needed and how much dark prismarine we actually need. I'm really loving the new texture on this dark prismarine. I think it's wonderful. So that's basically how this is going to look. I think it's going to look amazing underwater. I'm so excited. Okay, let's get that going across there. And then we'll probably build this up like so before it curves. I want this to have a good curve. I think I've kind of let go of it peeking through the top. It's going to. And that's gonna have to be okay. I think we can make it work. I think we can get some coral and stuff growing on it and kind of make it look like it's supposed to be partially on air and partially underwater. And also it'll make a little bit more sense because if we have any animals down here, it'll make sense that they are still able to get fresh air and oxygen in through the top. So overall, probably a happy accident, but we'll see. It's really fun to build underwater like this. I know 1.14 just came out, but I'm still not over 1.13. This is just such an amazing update and change to the game that we can now build underwater so easily. And I know I could do this before because these are all full blocks, but I'm actually going to end up going around the side in areas like this and adding some stairs and stuff like that, and it'll just look so lovely once it's all finished. And I'm so excited to see the finished result. As are you, according to the comments. I've been loving all of the comments I've been getting recently about how excited all of you are for the finishing of the palace. And I'm really excited to do that as well. This has been such an amazing process and I've learned so much, but it is time for me to start completing things. Like, this is really one of the last things that we're going to start, and we need to finish all of the interior, and we've got lots of blank exterior walls that some of you are still mad about. I promise I'm gonna get to them all. It's just taking a little bit of time due to the scale, but it's been so amazingly fun. probably what's going to happen from here on out is I'm going to have episodes that are like focused on one thing. Like this episode is going to be focused on just getting this area of our underwater gardens complete. And we'll have episodes like that, like we usually do, where like we finish the library and we finish the master bedroom, and then we'll have an episode where we go through the entire upstairs and we just finish everything. We do all the finishing touches, like an odd jobs episode, but the odd jobs are all kind of focused in one area. That's sort of what I'm thinking. I think that'll really help me finish it. This is something I don't talk about a lot, but even in my creative videos, I think one of the biggest struggles for me is just finishing it. Like I kind of suck at finishing my projects. I get really demotivated right at the end and I don't want to finish. I don't want the process to be over. So I kind of delay it a little bit, but I'm going to try to break that bad habit so that I can actually finish this palace, and I'm excited to do that. I think it'll be a really big accomplishment for just finishing something like this on this scale, in this time frame. That'll be cool. I'm excited. Speaking of finishing things, I have gone ahead and finished up most of our kind of dull terrarium work. I finished up the glass and I drained them of water, and of course I rounded off the roof. The roof is sticking out a little bit, but as I mentioned previously, we're going to have a second layer here, and I think that'll help make it a little less awkward, and it'll hopefully help our enchantment tower to not feel so lonely as well out here in the water. So that should be nice. I like these. Now I saved you the effort of me draining these. I assume you all know how sponge works, so I thought there was no need to do it on camera. But we are going to go ahead and fill these with dirt now and get some grass blocks growing in here. I'm gonna go with sort of a similar theme for both of them. I think for one we'll do maybe a plains theme, and for the other we'll do a foresty theme. I think that could be rather nice. The only problem I can foresee in our future is that it is going to be difficult to get some passive mobs in here right now, just because our passive mob spawning is so low. I'm waiting for 1.14.1 to release, and as of recording this right now, it hasn't. I don't know if it will by the time I go to upload, but hopefully it'll fix something with the passive mobs. If not, I might have to think of some workarounds. But for right now, let's just get these filled up and not worry about it. We have a lot of building to do before this is ready for any critters anyways. Alright, while I'm waiting for this grass to spread, I'm going to go ahead and work on some of the outer details. We still need to work in this area right here, adding stairs and slabs and just overall making it look a lot better and more put together, perhaps. Let's start over here. I think I'd like to maybe raise this up in this corner and then maybe down as we come this way. So I'm going to work in one corner and then I'm going to kind of manually rotate it all the way around and see if I can come up with something that I like in terms of design. I want it to look just a little bit wavy right here. I think that's nice, although we might have to adjust the dark prismarine in the back. That could definitely still be good. And then on the ends here, we can kind of continue that same sort of theme. I don't know if I'd like that though. Let me do it in 2 spots and then I might be able to see. That could maybe work, but I think I'd also want to maybe raise it up right about here. I love that we can use these stairs and slabs. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't think that's bad. Let me do it right here and then I'll get a full shot of it. Make sure that I like it for sure. Alright, so there's one corner with the details in. I think I definitely like that, so I'm going to go ahead and do this design all the way around on both of these. It's super simple just with stairs and slabs, so it really shouldn't take very long, but I'll be right back once this process is over. With those simple details in place, this is already looking so much better, and it's going to look even better again once I get the next layer in place. I'm going to head inside this area right here now and try and start placing a tree for us. I'm choosing birch leaves not just because they are my absolute favorite leaf, but also because they don't change color in the biome that they're in, so shouldn't affect us too much. I'm gonna just place a few more of those torches. I don't want any baddies spawning in here. It'd be really hard to fight a creeper in a glass dome. But we're just gonna do a fairly simple, basic, kind of almost oak-shaped tree. I might actually need some of this dirt to scaffold because, ooh, yeah, I'm gonna actually come right here, kind of lean this branch this way a little bit. I am going to, oh, I know what I should be using. I should actually be using the full logs. I keep forgetting that I can do this in survival mode now. Okay, I'll have to fix up some of those, but that's just gonna look so much better already. Okay, there we go, something like that. So this is gonna need to be a fairly small tree, just so that it can fit in here, but that should be no problem for me. That actually just makes it a little bit easier on me. So I'm just kind of building up these branches a little bit randomly perhaps, but I mean, trees are kind of random. Everybody always asks me how I build trees. Just place blocks until it works, honestly. That's what FamilyCraft Dad always says, and it's true. Just keep placing them. It'll eventually work, and use some variety. Like, don't need to always go up. You can bring some downwards or in different directions all over the place. It's a really organic and free shape. So I'm gonna break some of this dirt and hop down now and see what that's looking like. And if I like it, then I will continue. Let's see. This is not bad for starters. There's not enough branches spreading out yet, so I'm gonna keep adding to that. I'm also gonna go ahead real quick and just add in a little bit more bulk down here for some roots while I'm at it. And of course I'm going to shave this off just so it has a little bit of a different color, because we're using a lot of this plain dark oak planks, so this will give us a little bit more of a softer tone, which I think is going to fit in here a lot better. Alright, now that I'm happy with the branches, I've started on the leaves. The important thing for me about the leaves is we need to space them out and have lots of air blocks in amongst them. That's going to be super important for creating a realistic effect. I always like saying that I imagine birds could kind of fly through them, and I think that's kind of a good way to imagine it. You want to have lots of spaces between the leaves, but you still want it to look full, and it can be kind of a tricky balance to achieve that. So I'm going to try my best and just take some time here and get these leaves placed in a way that I like them, and hopefully I'll be successful. But I'm sure you guys have all seen me build a tree before, so I'm going to go ahead and skip this part for all of you. Alright, there we go. The leaves are pretty much in place. Now obviously this ceiling looks kind of awful in here right now. Now, although we aren't going to be walking around in here a ton because this is like kind of like an aquarium, we don't really go inside our aquariums a lot, I still would like it to look good, but let's see what it looks like from the outside. Okay, so comparing it to the blank one, that's definitely a lot better. It looks a lot fuller. It's gonna look so good once we get some flowers and stuff in there, some bushes, some rocks. I wanna go get that stuff right now so we can get it in place. Alright, let's head back inside now. I'm just gonna place, I think, a couple of rocks around here. I think that'll really kind of dress up the area a lot, actually. Yeah, that's gonna help so much with the feel of this whole area, making it feel very outdoorsy and together. Ah, perfect. Alright, now that that's in, I'm gonna go ahead and add some bushes around here, just like that in a few areas. Oh my goodness, yes! It makes me so happy to see something like this coming together. Terraforming is truly kind of therapeutic, honestly. It's such a beautiful process. Let's get some of these bright colored flowers in place. I'm actually gonna get a couple more of those because I really like them. This can be like our lilac terrarium. Okay, and let's get one over here, kind of in the nook of that bush. And then we will just bone meal the ground up so that we get all of this gorgeous tall grass. Oh my goodness, that looks so much more colorful already. Let's see what it looks like from the outside. Oh, yes! Even just that small little touch on the ground helped so much. Now, I do think, as I'm looking at this right now, this is a little bit strange. It looks unpolished, having the sand under there. So, I do think that's a good place for another either row of prismarine or row of birch. I think maybe some birch planks could actually go along here to kind of add a little bit of support. And then we'll add some prismarine kind of under the glass right here. That should help polish things off a lot. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm also going to try and polish off the ceiling a little bit, just to see if I can get this whole place looking very finished. I will be right back. Alright, I think I've done all of the details that I'd like to do for this episode. Let me swim down here and show you what I have done. So I added to the supports just like I said I would, and I also bordered our entire terrarium in this Prismarine, which I definitely love. That really helps the transition from the sand to the grass, and I'm loving the interior of these so far. I obviously also added the top part that I was talking about, just basically exactly mirrored this. I haven't added any of the details yet with that wood or with the Prismarine, so I need to get around to doing that, but I figured I would just map it in so that you guys could get a good idea of what this is going to look like so that you can give me some feedback. Also, I have done the interior of this terrarium over here. Basically just went with the same thing. This one's more of a plains biome. I went for a sunflower plains. You can see I added a little hut in there. I added a campfire and some table and chairs, and I really love this. Also, up on the top right here, just to kind of add a little bit of logic, I sort of added like a little vent so that there's some air exchange here, and we need to clean up this area as well. I think I'm going to add a sea lantern hanging in here to light everything up. Overall, I'm really happy with how this garden is coming together. We've got some benches along here for relaxing as you walk in the underwater garden, and I think the next stage for this area is going to be surrounding it in coral, adding some more flowers to make our garden kind of fit in with that conduit theme we have going. I'm really enjoying this. I like the animation that the campfire adds in there. It really contrasts well with this side where we have it filled up a lot more vertically with that tree. I'm really happy with it. Let me show you what it looks like from up above as well. Alright, here is our garden viewed from the sky. Let me just circle around a little bit. I love the way that these look peeking out of the water. I wasn't sure about it at first, but I really do think it looks really good. It's something you kind of have to get over. Like, you have to get over the fact that it is peeking out. But once you think about the fact that the above land and underwater are just so connected through this palace and our two gardens just flow together, I think it can be really beautiful, and I'm excited to see how it comes together once it's fully finished. Alright, now it is time for today's comment or question of the day, and today's comment or question of the day comes from Ella, who says, "Your videos are very relaxing, and your world is very nice. I hope you make videos forever and deserve 1 million subscribers and more. Also, you should make a mini flower farm because your ravine is a little empty and you could use a little bit more greenery in your palace." Ella, I totally agree with you. If you guys don't know what Ella is talking about, I will take you over to that area now. I know we have quite a few new viewers to this series, and I haven't done a tour yet. If you guys are wondering why I haven't done a tour, we're waiting till episode 50, and this is episode 47, so we're not far off. I'm gonna do a tour. I just want to finish up a couple more things first. Ella is talking about this ravine right here. This is our lovely little underwater ravine that we have going. I absolutely adore this area of our palace. It sort of connects everything together. When we spawned on this island, there was a ravine under here. I knew I wanted to do something with it, so this is where we ended up putting our farms. And we did sort of a mermaid village, and in each of these structures, we have our different farms. So through here is our cows, and we've got some beet growing, as well as some cocoa beans. Down below here, we have our slime and our cactus. So we definitely have room in here to add more farms. All of these farms are super tiny, and luckily for us, a flower farm would also be tiny. And because we are going to be focusing on adding greenery and fixing up the rest of the terrain of this whole entire island, that's probably a really good idea. So thank you for that, Ella. Thank you so much for watching this video, everyone. This weekend that I am uploading this video, I am actually heading off to Montreal to have some fun and have a little bit of an early celebration for my birthday, which is on May 22nd. I'm really excited. I'm going there to see a concert with my parents. I'm really looking forward to it. And if you want to see what I get up to there, definitely follow me on Instagram. I will post to my Instagram stories, and I'll probably take a few photos over there because that is what I love to do. Anyways, with all of that said, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!